All right, guys, welcome to the Digital Barbell Podcast. Hope you're having a great day. We've got a good episode for you today. We're going to talk about simplifying a stress-free fitness lifestyle. Before we get into the episode, though, let's talk about today's sponsor.
Oh, no.
We're sponsored by Zubers. Everybody's
Which
like,
we just found out as a person.
what? Zubers? We are at Zubers
River Camp.
Family Campground.
Zuber's River Camp.
In Concan, Texas. We are just across the Frio River from Garner State Park. I talked about this on the Monday motivation episode a little bit, but we had no idea places like this in Texas even existed. We've driven west in Texas a lot of times, but it's always at the north part of Texas towards Amarillo, where it's flat, desolate, depressing, sad, all those adjectives. This is really
This
amazing.
is awesome.
We're at the base of Old Baldy, this sheared off mountain, and down the rivers down there, and you can float. This campground has, I don't know, maybe like 25 RV sites, a bunch of cabins.
31 to be exact.
31, okay.
31 full hookups and like A through like, I don't know, somewhere halfway through the alphabet. So however many that is, maybe like 15 campsite cabins. And then they have several of like the cabins that are just like screens.
Yeah,
and
primitive.
then they have tent camping sites, so you can do everything here. It's technically off season, even though as of yesterday it was 98 degrees here in the West Texas. But my whole family is here, so we have like camps, RV sites. We have
People in cabins. Nobody's tent camping.
and then everybody has been gathering every night at my aunt and uncle's Airstream, and we're having just like a big kumbaya dinner every night. It's been so much fun.
Yeah, they've got a 34-foot long 1970s Airstream that they
1980s.
had. Oh, okay, that they had remodeled. And they're
cool.
like one spot over from us.
Yeah.
Why don't you said full hookups. Why don't you tell everybody who doesn't RV what that
Full
means?
hookups is what you want. You got electric, you got water, and you got sewer out. So I heard this quote from someone else, but you want water in and you want water out. Like that water going out of your camper is the most important thing, because otherwise you're restricted. We actually had to move campsites because we were too back and we couldn't get water out. We were two campsites back and we couldn't get water out of our camper. Like it was too uphill. And so you got to start restricting, like, don't take a long shower. Don't wash your hands. Like,
Don't wash your hands.
it's like, no, I have full hookups. I want to live like I have full hookups.
Yeah,
So
that's what
I
full
like
hookups
full
is.
hookups.
Yeah, so here's the quick story, and then we really will get into the episode. But we were down on the river yesterday, and we had Buttons and Lacey on top of a paddleboard, and we were just kind of floating out there, and this man rolled down on a UTV, like one of those gators, motorized vehicles, and he had a some kind of pointer dog, like a big dog, and then a little dog. And this place is riddled with rules, like no noise after this time.
And you put a credit card in before you can stay here. They make you give a credit card and say, if you break into these rules, we have the right to charge you
$150.
Well, whatever. There's different violation rules for
Okay.
this.
Different
for
price
different
range
for different violations. There's different
It's like
prices.
tickets.
And like in order to stay here, you have to agree. Like I'm going to follow all these rules, and like so many of them are about your pets. Like don't pick up poop. Don't let them off leash. If they bark after hours.
Wow.
Like there are so many pet rules. Come to find out.
Well, the thing was, like, one of the rules is have your dog on a leash at all
yeah,
times.
that's the big one.
That's a $150 one. So this guy rolls down. He's got two off-leash dogs, and Blakely's aunt and uncle have two big dogs. They start going berserk because these dogs are running around like crazy. Our dogs start going berserk on the paddleboard.
And it's not because our dogs are bad. It's because when dogs that are on leash see other dogs off leash, they get nervous. And dogs just instinctively bark if other dogs are running around like crazy and they're leashed up. There's something about that concept for dogs. It's like, that's not allowed, or what. I don't know what they're thinking, but for some reason that combination really excites dogs.
So after several minutes of this insanity, I actually yelled out at the guy. I said, "Hey, can you put your dogs on a leash, please?" And he snapped at me and yelled at, and I don't know exactly what he said.
He said, "No, my dogs are good."
Something like that, yeah.
That's
I
exactly
definitely
what
heard
he
the word no, and then he got on a paddleboard with his dog and went down the river. Well, he came back eventually.
He was Zuber.
He was like, we were still in the water. He comes approaching us, and he said, "Hey, I just want to apologize for snapping at you. That wasn't right, blah, blah, blah." And like we said, come to find out, he's the owner of the dang place, and his last name is Zuber.
But Anyway, it's
Great park though.
great
Other than the
park.
oh no, it
It
was
is it
nice that
is
he
just
apologized.
weird that like if they do have all these rules in place that
He's
they're
above the rules.
like we're also going to keep our dogs off leash.
But he lives here and he doesn't want to keep his dog on a leash, blah blah blah. But yes,
Whatever,
it's a
yeah.
double standard.
It's a double standard, but whatever.
But he redeems himself.
Yes,
He
he was
went
very
from
nice.
he went
He
from
looks like he might work out. Maybe he wants to hire a digital barbell.
yeah. He bought this place 5 years ago. So I guess he's just living the dream now.
This is one of Jonathan's dreams, own an RV park.
Yeah. All right, let's get into
Okay.
yeah,
This is not RV park
simplifying.
fitness lifestyle simplified. This is fitness life.
Right. So we have a list of 17 things, which you're like, I thought you said you're going to simplify
Yeah.
a stress-free fitness lifestyle. The point of this is like you don't have to obsess about your nutrition. You don't have to obsess about your workouts. You don't have to do anything hardcore if you want to get and stay in shape for the rest of your life. If you truly want to adopt a fitness-oriented lifestyle, there's just certain ways that you have to live your life. And then you can forget about the excruciating minutia of what is are chia seeds healthier than flax seeds? Should I eat white bread versus wheat bread? White rice versus brown rice? You can ignore all that stuff if you focus on the kinds of things that we're going to talk about in this episode.
I wish that I had just came to me, but we are over here with my aunts and uncles, multiple aunts, multiple uncles, and they are very good examples of this. They're all in the 65
70s.
and up range, and they have fitness lifestyles simplified because they don't stress about it. They're here, we're all having fun, but they do a lot of these things, and I know, and they are able to maintain a healthy body weight, active lifestyles. My aunt and uncle, my uncle is 78 years old, and they went to Garner State Park and did a 3.5 mile hike yesterday because he has simplified his fitness lifestyle.
Yep.
And he doesn't stress. But then we had had a drink last night. He had enjoyed the foods he wanted. But
Don't spoil it.
I'm
You're
not trying
getting-
to spoil it, but I'm just saying that like I wish we would have like done a little interview with them because they really have achieved what we're talking about right now.
Cool. Why don't you
Okay.
read these things out?
Number 1, drink mostly water and other calorie-free things.
This does a couple different things. It takes the place of less nutritious things that you might drink that would make you over consume calories throughout the day, which can make weight management tricky. There aren't a lot of people living a fitness oriented lifestyle that are drinking soda, that are drinking high calorie smoothies or pre-made. Those when you go to the grocery store and they have those like pre-made Bolt House shakes that have like 400, 500 calories. Are you pointing at your uncle?
Someone just walked by.
we're out here. We're doing this. So anyway, make the primary thing you drink water. It's going to hydrate you, and it's going to take the place of other calorie-containing drinks that can make maintaining a healthy body weight difficult.
And if you need it, there's so many things out there on the market that make water have flavor.
Yes.
I would just definitely like not overdo it. Like if it says 1 to 2 servings a day, do that. Don't go crazy with additives.
You talking about like electrolyte powders and stuff?
Like there's reasons that they say like you shouldn't fill your body. Like every time you drink water, don't add something. But if you I do a flavor my first water of the day after coffee, I have a flavored water, and that's the only one I have that day.
Yep. Make it your habit. I lost track of how many clients that we've helped drink more water, and they're just like, I can't believe I waited so long to do this.
This question always comes up, but do you count like the cans of sparkling water, all these like
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Number 2, eat a lot of lean protein.
Yeah. Get in the habit of choosing a protein source at every single meal, and more often than not making it a lean protein. Lean protein, like if you picture a pie chart, and that is the amount of protein in the source of protein that you choose. If you choose a lean protein, the whole pie chart is full of protein. If you choose a less lean protein, like 80-20 ground beef or a non-lean pork, a lot of that pie chart, all the calories in that are coming from fat. Sometimes up to half of that serving, the calories are coming from fat and not protein. And the reason that matters for maintaining a fitness lifestyle is choosing a lean protein is much more likely to make you eat the amount of protein that will help you maintain and build a lot of lean body mass. And going back to the first thing we talked about, it's going to keep you from accidentally overeating calories, which can make it difficult to, maintain a healthy
Yeah.
body weight.
All right. Number 3.
Should we say
Eat.
what lean proteins are?
I was gonna say maybe say what lean protein's not.
Lean protein is not egg yolks. Those are not a lean protein. You might be surprised to know
Mm-hmm.
that. Most pork, unless it's like a pork chop that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have fat around it, is not lean. Most beef, unless you specifically go buy a ground beef that's like 90 or above percent lean, is
Mm-hmm.
not lean. Bacon is not lean. Sausage is not lean, even if it's chicken or turkey sausage. Most of the times, there's still a ton of calories coming from fat in those.
Yeah.
Chicken thighs are not lean protein.
So this doesn't mean never eat these things. This means like when we go grocery shopping every week, we get chicken, we get 99% fat-free turkey, and we might get one thing of 90% beef.
Mm-hmm.
And we most like 6 out of 7 days we'll eat the turkey, the chicken, that type of stuff, and then one day of a week we'll have the beef.
Yeah. And
And
again,
that's
it's
most
not
of the
that
time.
non-lean protein is bad. The point of this episode is to like take away the stress. If you don't want to
Yeah.
stress about living a fitness-oriented lifestyle, eat a lot of lean protein. It just takes the decision away. And then when you want to go out for a big juicy burger, well, most of the time you ate a lot of lean protein. So
Yeah.
enjoy the heck out of that burger.
All right. Eat a lot of fruit and vegetables.
Yep.
That one's easy.
I mean, what else can you say
What else
about
can you
this?
say
Like,
about it? Lots of fruit and vegetables.
I had a conversation with a client who recently thought he was coming down with COVID. Thanks, Buttons. And he asked, like, what can I do to help myself recover? And the answer is always to eat more fruits and vegetables. Like, the number one thing you can do to support a healthy immune system is eat a lot of micronutrient dense foods. What are those? They're fruits and vegetables. And I'm just now noticing the trend of this, but somebody who eats a lot of fruits and vegetables too, Buttons is drinking
Mine's so
water.
thirsty. Drink water.
She just woke up from a nap. Somebody who eats a ton of fruits and vegetables is eating a lot of food volume that doesn't have a lot of calories for it. So it removes the stress of having to count every single calorie because you're eating a lot of
Yeah.
food that keeps you full, that helps you maintain a healthy body weight.
I mean, when you go back and you watch those Rocky movies, what's he carrying around with him all the time? An apple. He's always got an apple in his hand. Whenever he needs a snack, that apple's right there.
I like it. I didn't
Right.
realize that.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's always got an apple with him.
Does he ever
even
have any
makes
water with him?
He always makes a comment. He's not drinking water, but he's always got an apple.
Oh,
He's like crunching on this apple.
go Rocky.
All right. Eat a moderate amount of whole food based starchy carbs.
What? You can still eat carbs and live a fitness oriented lifestyle? Absolutely.
those
It's
carbs.
really about the type of carbs that you choose. Somebody who gets most of their carbohydrates from a box or a bag, it's probably more likely that it's something that's super tasty, really highly palatable, and it's going to be really easy to overeat. And that's going to derail, your progress of just staying healthy without overthinking it or feeling like you have to count every gram that you're eating. But, if you focus on nutrient dense, whole foods, starchy carbs like rice, like potatoes, even pasta, things like that, it's automatically going to help you kind of moderate the quantity. And then having enough carbohydrates on board in your diet is really helpful for being able to push the intensity of your workouts.
Yeah.
And if you're not, training with intensity, it's going to be hard to build enough lean body mass to, give you that longevity that we want.
Number 5, don't eat based on peer pressure.
This is never going to go away. Like, there's always going to be a special occasion. Somebody's always going to make something that they want you to try. People will always put their own insecurities on you or try to make you feel guilty for trying to live a fitness oriented
Especially if you work in
lifestyle.
an office environment, people will always bring things into the office that they either want to share or will made or want to get rid of for some reason. And
And it's not
It's
up to
just-
you
yeah.
to dispose of the food that they either made too much of or just want you to eat for whatever reason. You got to get over the fact, like, why is it with food it's so hard to get over this? But if somebody were to walk up to you with like something that you were allergic to and offer it to you, you'd be like, I can't eat that. I
Yeah.
don't want to eat that. It's going to make me feel terrible. Like I'm going to have a bad reaction to it.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, that makes sense. But with food, it's like, why won't you eat this? Like, oh, you're just trying to be good. Oh, like, and then they take it as a judgment on themselves. But you got to get over this if you want to live a stress-free fitness lifestyle.
all right. Number 6, cope with stress in healthy ways.
Yep. How much of, the trouble that we run into with health and fitness comes from unhealthy coping mechanisms. I don't think I realized how much it was until becoming a coach.
Mm-hmm.
But, at the root of a lot of people's nutrition problems is really an emotional issue that needs to be dealt with by a trained professional in that area. And if you just continue to go after fixing an emotional issue by trying to control your food, you're only kind of putting in a band-aid on a wound. Like, go, there's no shame in like seeking professional help for any underlying issue. If you,
Mm-hmm.
and look at what the thing is that's causing you stress too. If it's not
Yeah.
something in your past, but it's like your job that's stressing you out, and all you want to do when you get home from your job that you hate is drink yourself to sleep at night, you're not going to fix that by counting your macros. You're going to fix that by getting a different job.
And how many times in just like being a coach, you hear people say like they were stressed out and they went out and did their workout, they moved their body around, and they feel better, they relieve stress. And it's kind of one of these things we have to learn over and over and over again, is like, we feel the stress, and going and doing something active, it takes you, even going for a walk takes your mind off
Mm-hmm.
of what you're dealing with. It kind of gets you out in nature, and there's just something about it that feels like that pulls you out of that moment
Mm-hmm.
versus yeah, that's just a healthy way to
And like, I think we've talked about this many times, but just flipping the script on like what is good for your body.
Yeah.
Like, what's good for coping with stress is to treat your body well. That will help you feel
Yeah.
less stress and stop that negative chain of events that happens. And so
Yeah,
eating well and exercising is a positive way.
treat for your body, not giving your body a milkshake or a brownie. That's not
Right.
a treat for your body. That's really like a poison for your body.
Right.
All right.
If not poison, at least it's not,
Yeah.
not heading you in the right direction.
Limit alcohol. Number 7.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to simplify a fitness
Mm-hmm.
oriented lifestyle, make alcohol the exception in your life. Another client I was having a conversation with, he actually went through 30 days, actually over 30 days without drinking anything. We wanted to test it as an experiment, and his results went off the chart during that 30 days. And we were starting to talk about like, okay, how do we reincorporate alcohol in?
Mm-hmm.
And he asked like, well, what do your most successful clients do when it comes to alcohol? And I said, well, they don't drink at home. And when they do drink, it's only, 2 drinks, typically one day
Mm-hmm.
a week. And a lot of clients just don't drink at all. But the point is, if we go back to the root of this episode, how do we simplify living a fitness oriented
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle? We limit alcohol. We don't keep it in our environment so that it's something that we're continuing to battle with
Mm-hmm.
on a day-to-day basis.
And one of the simplest things about like why people limit alcohol by only having it out of their house is it's more expensive to pay
Yeah.
for. You have to get out of the house to go get it. It's the same thing as like not keeping something that's like if ice cream is something
Mm-hmm.
that you struggle with, like making yourself go out to get ice cream on those occasions is not going to be a daily habit. It's going to be something you do
Yeah.
every once in a
A
while.
special occasion.
Yeah. Number 8, prioritize sleep.
Yep.
This is a
7 to
hard
8
one.
hours.
Yeah.
This is at the root of so many things. Like, you could have 6 things in your life that are like not going good. Like, you're struggling to work out, you're stressed, you're irritable,
Mm-hmm.
you have bad digestion. I can't think of any more things, but the point is, like, all of those things could be a result of your poor sleep. Hey, buttons. But we're tempted to like go after a band-aid solution for each of the
Buttons.
we're tempted to go after a solution for each one of the little things instead of just getting to the root and trying to get more sleep.
You're good. She hears
I
everybody.
love it. I love it. Got to bring the dogs on the road, man. So anyway, I know it's easy to sit here and say get more sleep, but I know a lot of people want to get more sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And for most people, the answer isn't going to come on the morning side of the equation. Like, well, I'll just sleep in later to get more sleep. So you got to look for like, how can I realistically, set myself up for more success by being honest with myself about what am I doing in the hour before I go to bed? Can I get in the bed earlier? Can I not use a device in bed? Can I read a book? Can I take a hot shower, do something to help me unwind? And even if you can squeeze out an extra 30 minutes, it'll start to make a difference over time.
All
What are you
right.
you're super distracted looking over there. What do you see?
I see people. I see people.
What's next? It's getting hot in here, man.
Spend time standing, walking.
Be
Standing
active.
and walking.
Be active.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simplify your life by staying active.
You know, these Apple Watches now will help you if this is something that you struggle with. They can, my mom has this. It's like it goes off like every hour. If you haven't stood for at least 10 minutes of an hour, it reminds you like you need to stand up. So that I mean that's a pretty cool little thing just built into a watch. Like
Yeah.
make sure you stand up once an hour. You get credit for it if you like
I
to.
like
If
that.
you like to close your rings, you get credit for that.
Yeah, if you're a box checker, ring closer.
And it, keeping track of your steps, we have found that just helping clients like bring, like, identify how many steps they get and then start to increase that number has really helped a lot of our clients just like kind of push, like if they're in some sort of plateau, push past the plateau.
Yeah. And it just goes back to like, if you're a sedentary
Yeah.
person, it's going to be really hard to sustain a fitness lifestyle. Just be an active person
Yeah.
in general.
Number 10, strength train with relative intensity.
What does relative intensity mean?
Relative to your abilities.
That's right. And strength training means that you're following some sort of program that uses progressive overload. It doesn't have to be like a linear type thing where you add weight every single week to your workout, but something that makes it so that it's more challenging over time. And like you said, don't look at what anybody else in the gym is doing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what you've done in the past. Just make sure that you're working close to the most that you can do and that it gradually gets harder over time.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what we do with our clients. Is we coach people from their 20s all the way into their 70s, and we basically they can all do about the same thing, but we have them do their workouts to their relative to their the intensity that they can push, and
Amen.
that's how they get results.
Yep. And that if you want to be somebody who like doesn't have to stress about what exactly, like joining a new program, whatever that is, like strength train with relative intensity,
Right.
and things will take care of itself.
I think we should spend just like maybe 5 more minutes on this one because I do think that this is something that like maybe people really, as I was explaining that, I was like maybe this is not really making sense yet. Maybe
Okay.
people don't understand what we're talking about. And this, I'm trying to think of the best way to like quickly explain it, but you
For
want
the strength training one?
yeah you want to be able to like move your weights and it be difficult. Like it shouldn't be easy. And I think that that's like when we work with clients who've like worked out for a long, like talking decades or more of their life, and they've never really seen any results. That's the biggest thing, is that we're pushing them into that true like intensity. And that is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
So you're doing hard sets of work. So you're doing 12 strict presses overhead, and by the time you're at like number 9, you're like, I don't know if I can get another one. I don't know if I can get another one. And you get to like 12 and you're like, and we can see it in your videos of like you were actually pushing. If rep 1 and rep 12 looked exactly the same, you weren't working to that relative intensity. Same thing on a conditioning workout. If you did 3 rounds of like 3 movements and you were just jogging through, like you never really broke a sweat, you like took a 1-minute water break in the middle, like you sat down for a little bit, you weren't working at any type of intensity, and you're not going to get results from that. So again, we'll see our clients do a video circuit of something, and I can tell by the times they post or by the videos they post that they are actually working to relative intensity, and we can like, okay, great, keep doing this. This is where the magic happens.
If the word intensity to you sounds scary, you could just substitute the word effort.
Yeah.
You need to
true.
work at a really hard effort level. Because literally the thing that makes you change, get better, and improve is the adaptation to you putting that stress on your body. So like you said, like you could do your 3 sets of 10 for years and years, a decade, and it's never going to cause you to get better because it's never a challenge for your body.
Yeah. But I was just thinking, when we think about anything that we do in life, not fitness oriented at all, but anything that we do in life that we put forth in a true effort into is where we get results.
That's a great point.
So that's a great thing to say. I think like the word intensity sounds like, oh, they're going to make me like hover over a trash can after this and be thrown up. That's not the intensity that we want.
Right.
It's effort level. And so anything in life that you put in a very good effort into is where you're going to see results. If you put a half whatever effort into it, you're going to get those half results. So the same thing is true here.
And like this is the reason that the tagline for our business is that you work hard,
you deserve
results. Because if you are willing to go to the gym for 10 years in a row and devote that time, effort, money, all that stuff, the sacrifices you make for the time you're not doing
Yeah.
something
You
else,
spent an hour in the
you
gym.
deserve to get some freaking results for that. And so much of it, the people that do that for decades, is because of this one thing that we're talking about right here.
And that's exactly where we started. Like, before we found CrossFit, before we even knew what we were doing, we would go to the gym and I would do a little punchy class with my friend, and Jonathan would walk on the treadmill. And we went several times a week. Spent however much it cost to join that gym, $15 a month, which was nothing back then, and spend at least an hour in the gym for nothing.
No results.
He was watching the news, walking on the treadmill, and then wondering what was going on. And I was like,
I was counting the calories that were
punching,
burning
stepping
off.
on a box, hiding at the same time, and
Yeah.
like wondering why I didn't look any different. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, I think we
That
got
was a
that
good
one
rant right
across.
there. Clip that, producer.
Number
Put
11.
that on a YouTube short.
Do easy and hard conditioning.
Yeah. So the intensity piece comes into that, but the easy part is that we don't only work at intensity. That's a good recipe to like run yourself into the ground.
I think this could also be short and long conditioning.
Yeah.
So I don't think the word easy is actually correct
if it's
here.
long, it's not going to be super hard.
Well, yeah, but long conditioning meaning like do something 20, 30 plus minutes.
Right.
This is a long walk at just above a conversation pace where you're talking to somebody where you have to like catch your breath every once in a while. This is not like just like
Yeah.
a super easy jaunt, but it could be a bike ride, it could be a jog, whatever is doable for you. And then hard conditioning is that shorter. That means like hard versus like a quick conditioning set where you're really pushing that intensity. You're like closer to like 9 minutes, but when you're done, you're just like hands are on your hips. You're just like, oh, catch my breath for a minute.
Yeah.
That's the hard conditioning.
And
All right.
and the reason we care about the longer duration, less intense stuff is because not only is this about like living a stress-free fitness lifestyle, but it's about living a long, healthy lifestyle too. And that kind of conditioning is what's the best for your heart capacity. And it builds your aerobic base to make you better at the short, intense stuff too.
All right. Number 12, consume supportive content.
All right. If you want to simplify your life, stop consuming things that make you feel bad and that like make doing the things that you want to do harder. Like if you struggle with nighttime snacking, do not watch diners, drive-ins, and dives in the dark. You're gonna go grab you're gonna go grab a bag of something or other out of the pantry and you're gonna sit there and eat it. Or maybe you're just gonna like go make a hamburger. But you gotta just like unfollow things that make you feel bad. Unfollow things that tempt you in ways that you don't want to be tempted. Like I've heard somebody else talking about this on a podcast, but he was somebody who was trying to drink less, and he found that watching Mad Men, where they're, I guess I haven't seen it, but they're constantly drinking bourbon.
It makes it look cool.
Smoking.
And yeah, that
He's
makes
like,
it
you know what? I think I want to start drinking bourbon. Like he's consuming content that is making it harder to achieve his goals. So you got to do an audit of yourself. You want to simplify a fitness lifestyle, surround yourself with positive content and limit the stuff that derails you from your goals.
Yep. All right. Number 13, find like-minded friends. It's a similar vibe there.
You're gonna start to become like the people that you surround yourself with. The good thing about that is like if you do these things and you adopt this fitness lifestyle, you're gonna rub off on the people in your life. We interviewed one of Blakely's clients, Jason, for an episode of 5 Minutes with, and just talked about how much weight his wife has lost since he's lost 40 pounds over the last 2 years with us.
So
how
cool.
everybody in the family is exercising now. So not only should you surround yourself with like-minded people, but do it because you know that the people around you will become better too.
Yeah, we also have a 5 Minutes with one of our clients named Rachel, which is a great one to check out. She has 5 children under, I think, the age of 11. She homeschools them, and she gets in her workouts every week. And the reason that she does this is her whole family is on board and supports her, and they're all involved in the process of this. This made me think of like when I owned a CrossFit gym. It made me sad that people used to call CrossFit like cult fit, that they thought of it as a cult. And the reason that people say that is because it's a group of like-minded people, which happens on accident. People just walk into a gym and they end up realizing like everybody in this place starts to like value fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we also kind of value like what we eat. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
we kind of talk about what we eat, and we also value like what we do outside the gym, and like people, we start to hang out together and let's go all do a hike together. Let's go do something, sporty. And I think that that's where that like nickname came from, because it's like, but it is true. Like, you join a gym and people around you are more like you. You join a church, people are more like you. You join a bourbon club, people around you are more like you. You join a cigar club. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's just
Yep.
kind
Yeah, it's a great point.
of okay.
It's powerful.
Um, Number 14, put skin in the game.
Yeah, I mean, research shows that having something at stake makes you much more likely to stick with something.
We talk about this when we think about like if we were ever going to put out a challenge. Like if you put
Mm-hmm.
out a free challenge, people might be like, "Oh, that's a cool idea. I'd love to sign up for that." And they have no skin in the game, meaning usually at that point like no money, nothing. And so they, it's like, let's get 10,000 steps a day. They do it for 2 days and then they miss the day and they're like, "I'm out." But there's some skin in the game. They've forked over $100 to be involved in this challenge, and they could win 1,000 or something. Like there's some skin in the game. You're gonna like
Mm-hmm.
start to take this seriously,
Yeah,
and
this is
like
a way to get better results. Period.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's more an example of how to get better results, I guess, than how to simplify a fitness lifestyle. But you should have some sort of
I'm just saying
program
about the
that you're
idea
following.
of yeah,
Yeah,
it's like the old skin in the game means time and money.
that's true.
Like so that's why I'm saying that is like if you have some skin in the game, you're more likely to
Follow through.
like someone gives you a car versus you buy a car.
You're
How
gonna,
much more do you take care of that car? It's
yeah,
like that's like it's just kind of proven
yeah.
throughout all of our life. Like if you have some skin in the game, you're like, oh, I gotta keep this.
You just gave me
Nice.
an idea because we never have done a chat like a low ticket challenge kind of thing for a lot of different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But what if we did something like that, but instead of somebody paying $20 if they don't care if they lose or not,
They
what
put up their car title.
that, or what if there was like a negative consequence if they don't complete the challenge? Like,
Burpees.
no, remember back in like 2012 where there was that ice bucket challenge?
Yeah.
What if you don't complete the challenge if you have to video yourself having a bucket of ice water dumped over you?
It would be something like more embarrassing than that, but yeah,
Okay.
that's a funny idea.
You're naked too.
No.
You're naked and you have to
That ice bucket.
a lot of shrinkage going on. All right, what's
All
next?
right. 15, try new things.
Keep it interesting. Like if you want to keep things simple, keep it interesting too. Like find a new goal to chase. Like get better at your mile time. Try to back squat twice your body weight. Something like that.
Kind of have a goal.
Have a rabbit to chase.
All right. 16.
You can tell we're getting to the end of the list. We're just going to go fast now.
Well, there's only 2 more. Focus on the daily process and preparation.
Yeah. I was also having a conversation
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with a client last week about planning. Like he's a super busy CEO of a business, and we basically boiled it down to like how much has your business grown and what have been the things that have led to that growth. And we basically came down to the idea, well, a lot of planning. So the same thing is true when I'm nutrition coaching him, and we talked about what level of planning do we need to bring to your days to develop enough consistency to start to get better results.
Well, this is the whole idea of like falling in love with the process versus the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So if we start to love the process of like having, not that we all like, I love preparing food in advance. Like that is awesome. No, but I love having food prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to like fall in love with that process of like, okay, on these days I get up and I have my husband make a big thing of chicken. I make a pot of rice in the rice cooker and I can eat off of it for 2 or 3 days. Like these are the processes we have to start to like fall in love with so that we do them because we want that outcome of having food. Same thing with like, oh, I just love going to the gym. Most people aren't like, I just love doing this, but they start to fall in love with the process of like,
Yeah.
I love feeling like this. So I love going to the gym 5 days a week. And I know like, month after month after month, if I've done 5 workouts a week, I love how I feel, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I don't want to give this post away because I'm about to post it, but anyway, the post will come up before this podcast. So I'm going to give it away. But I just had a client who, when I originally was coaching her husband, and when she signed up to also coach with me, she was like gonna do a 5K, and like that was her. I thought like that was her sport. Like she's a runner. She's in the fast runner category, and she's like, okay, I have a 5K in September. And she like, I want to beat my goal, and like, but she's also going to be strength training for the first time, I think. And, anyway, the 5K just happened this weekend, and she sent me this message saying that like basically like she didn't really like running, that she had thought this was part of the like kind of one of those things that's like she needed a goal, I think, like, okay, if I'm going to stay fit, I need to like be signing up for some 5Ks, but I just don't really love I don't really love doing them. I don't love
Yeah.
doing them. I don't love running. But she, like, since she's been working with Digital Barbell, she just like has started to love the process. She loves the coaching side of it. She like likes learning different things, and she likes the process of like getting stronger, feeling fitter, and she crushed her 5K time while we don't, and we have not done lot of long distance running, or we've done a lot of
She's
short burst conditioning, and
she's just routinely getting stronger
she's
and
just
stronger.
routinely getting stronger. And so she, number one, it's like she's fallen in love with the process of this, and not just like she's not just looking for an outcome. And kind of like, I think it's cool how she had this realization of like, hey, I don't love running. I don't need to just
That's
sign up for
interesting.
these like 5Ks anymore just to be fit. Like,
Yeah.
I know that I like enjoy strength training and the variety that comes with strength training, bodybuilding, and conditioning, and mixing those three elements, and the results that they produce.
She did say that too.
Straight, it's like straight off the website.
Don't hate the results.
Number 17, do 1 through 16.
Even when you don't feel like it. I mean, that really is the thing, right? It's like,
Yeah, and that's where people, every client that ever was like, how's your client so successful? They do all of the things, even when even when it's not the perfect week, even when they're traveling, even when they don't feel 100%. They do the things that they need to do.
I would even say, like, you might have just heard Blakely say that and be like, well, I can't be perfect. That's
It's
not
not
what we're saying.
perfection.
Like,
No.
it's really adopting the mindset, like, I'm going to do the best version of these things that I
Yeah.
can with the circumstances that I'm
Yeah.
given.
And that's what, yeah, that's exactly right. Like, yeah, like I'm on vacation, so I'm going to do a 10-minute band pump, That's not recommended for every day of your life, but that keeps the consistency, it keeps you in the game, and that's what keeps driving results. Like, we're traveling, and we're gonna pack sandwiches for lunch and eat sandwiches every day of our life. We don't eat sandwiches, but when we're traveling, we that gives us, make sure that we have a lunch, make sure we have a meal, make sure we're not stopping. Like,
Yeah.
am I getting off track here?
No, you're just saying, like, when life happens,
It's
you
not
don't throw,
perfection.
if you want, you don't throw the whole thing out the window. You just make the best of each situation, and that's good enough until you have another chance to make another choice, the very next decision. Because I don't know about you, but like, there's always a reason that I could choose not to do something. But if I really want to live a fitness oriented lifestyle, it's within my control to make the best of each situation. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, take a lot of you have to take a lot of ownership in this whole process. Like, there's always a chance to play the victim. I don't want to go on a rant about this, but like, that's not going to change.
Yeah.
There will always be a reason for you to pull the ripcord on your goals, on the things that you say that you want. But try to resist that urge and just truly adopt the something is better than nothing mentality and make the best of every situation. And when you fail to live up to your expectations, gamify the process of trying to get back on track as quickly as possible. And that will be really the thing that simplifies your fitness lifestyle more than anything.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for
Sorry
being
for
here.
rambled there at the end.
Thanks for being here, Buttons, for contributing some barking, some water drinking, and for Lacey contributing some snoring off camera too. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you ever have any questions for us, or you would like to talk about working with us or Haley one-on-one, please reach out. I will put our email addresses in the description of this episode below. Have a good day.